Jamie, you are on there twice.
Marco, his double entry
Sorry.
might be what's causing the problems. Can you boot the one that's not his live feed, and maybe that'll clean up his feed for him a little bit?
Yeah, let's see here. Oh, I can't boot. I don't have an option to boot.
Okay, we'll just have to deal with it then.
I can
Okay.
hear you good now.
All right. Welcome to the Massillon City Council meeting for Tuesday, January 19th, 2021. We have in attendance with us the following city officials. Diane, if you would do a roll call.
Yes, Madam President. Mayor Kathy Perry.
Good evening.
Service Director Barb Sylvester.
Present.
Auditor Jane Ferraro. Chief Deputy Auditor Debbie Bonk. Stephanie Myers. Law Director Justin Richard. Chief Counsel Bill Bartos.
Present.
Chief Engineer Jason Popiel.
I am here.
Community Development Director Samantha Walters.
Here.
Economic Development Director David Maley.
Present.
Parks and Rec Director Steve Pedro.
Present.
Let's see here. Income Tax Budget Director Lori Katagides Boron. Is there anyone on from administration that I might have missed? That's it, Madam President.
Thank you. Under number 5 on the agenda is where the public can speak on any item that appears on tonight's agenda. And then again, under number 17 is where the public can speak on any item that does not appear on tonight's agenda. I would like to ask all of you, if you are not speaking, callers, please mute yourself. Roll call.
Creamer,
Present.
Gregg,
Present.
Hernkane, he was here.
He was here.
Yeah.
Here he is.
I'm here. Here.
Okay. Lewis,
Present.
Pittman,
I'm here.
Lombardi,
Here.
Sloots,
Present.
Sterrett,
Here.
and Barrett.
Present.
Roll call of 9 present.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The invocation will be given by Councilwoman Creamer.
Thank you, Madam President. Please stand and join in with me the Lord's Prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Councilwoman Creamer. Madam Clerk, are the minutes of the previous meeting transcribed and open for public viewing?
Yes, they are.
Are there any additions or corrections to be made?
No, there are not.
Then the minutes stand approved as written. We're at number 5 on the agenda, where any citizen can speak on any topic that does appear on tonight's agenda. If you wish to do so, please state your name, address, and topic you wish to discuss, and please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Hearing none, we'll move into new and miscellaneous business. I know that we just voted on new committee assignments a few weeks ago to fill openings for Nancy Halter, and I would like to thank those of you who worked on 4 committees temporarily till her position was filled. Joe Creamer, Linda Littman, and Ted Hernkane. Thank you, I appreciate that. On January 12th, retired police officer Jamie Slutz has stepped in to fill Nancy Halter's vacant spot as counsel at large for the remainder of 2021. So now I would like to submit new committee assignments, including Councilman Slutz, for the remainder of 2021. Before I share the assignments for your approval, I would like to make a few comments. I served on council from 2000 to 2004 as councilwoman for Ward 3 as a Republican, and presently I am serving on council as council president since 2016 as an independent. I have no political agenda. My only agenda is to do what is best for Massillon. When I was on council back in 2000, I told the president of council I was interested in being on the finance committee since I had a math background. He told me it wasn't going to happen, and by God, it never did. Not for the next 4 years I served. When it came time to vote for the committee assignments presented by the president, I believe it was a unanimous vote to accept. I guess I thought that's how it was always done. The president presents the assignments and council approves it. My selection for these committees are not based on party affiliation. They are based on what I believe can best serve the people of Massillon. Having said that, I am submitting the following committee assignments for the remainder of 2021 for your approval. I am hopeful someone will make a motion to accept these committee assignments. And Councilman Lombardi is going to share them on the screen. I don't see a lot of people on the screen at this point.
Those are up now, Mrs. Eisnick.
Thank you. Councilman Hurricane.
Madam President, I make a motion that we accept this slate as presented.
Real quick for discussion, though, we've not had discussion yet.
Madam President, I will second that.
Thank you. Open for discussion.
Madam President,
Yes.
I just want to make sure that we point out to the members of council that while we appreciate your service and your thought on this list, in no means do council rules state that the president of council has to submit a list of committees at this time. They are only to do so at the beginning of a session, which would have occurred in January of 2020 and won't occur again until January of 2022. Obviously, we can still consider this list and see what we think of it, but I just wanted to point that out to all members of council.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I guess along with that, I do have a question.
President,
Yes.
Madam President, this is Mrs. Littman.
Yes.
If we do not have any further discussion, I believe we could call for a vote.
Oh, I do have a question.
Go ahead.
Why would we affect committees that were not affected by the departure of Ms. Halter? For example, in Finance Committee, we're removing a member from Finance Committee that was in no way impacted by the vacancy of Ms. Halter. just to put another person on.
That is what was done in January. A person that was on finance was removed. And I thought Councilwoman Littman did an excellent job with her banking.
Actually, Madam President, that is not accurate. In January, nobody was on any committees. You're speaking of a previous session of council. You're not speaking of this session of council when the initial assignments were made.
Okay. Any other questions or concerns?
Madam President,
Yes, Councilman Kern.
thank you. I guess I would just add that we covered this last time as well, and the rules do state that you shall present at the beginning of a term, but it doesn't state that you cannot present a list at any other time, at any other regular meeting. So I appreciate Mr. Lewis's sentiments, but I don't believe that's entirely accurate.
Madam President, actually, the rule states that a council member may present a list. Like I said, I'm not arguing whether or not this list should be reviewed. That would not be up for debate right now. I was just simply stating what the rule states.
Thank you.
Overall,
Madam President,
go ahead.
Yes.
you saying yes to me?
Who is speaking?
This is Mike Gregg.
Hi. Yes, Councilman Gregg.
Yeah, I'm just curious as to why I was removed from the Finance Committee, after having served on it this entire past year.
Councilwoman Littman had served on it prior to that. And then a year ago, she was removed and you were put on. And I thought Linda did an excellent job. And I, at that point, didn't see any reason why she was removed with her banking background.
Well, I have 37 years in financial services as well, Madam President, which I think is just as applicable background as banking. In fact, my background does include banking.
I hear your concerns.
Madam
Anyone?
President, this is Mr. Lewis.
Yes, Councilman Lewis.
Overall, I just think that there is no reason to cause this much of a shakeup on committees simply because a member of council resigned their position and that position was filled. In the past, by example of a previous session of council in which we had the death of a councilman and that position was filled by Councilman Harris, he simply just stepped into the role that was vacated. I would propose that we do likewise tonight, that we just simply have Mr. Slutz fill the positions vacated by Ms. Halter. We've spent entirely too much time discussing and debating committees, and this seems to be the cleanest and easiest solution, and it allows us to move on and deal with the parts of the city that matter, and that is the legislations and the appropriations and policies that affect everyday life. So my recommendation tonight would be to vote no on this proposal. For that reason, and also it makes no sense at all to remove Mr. Gregg from a committee that he served on and did nothing wrong and did a fine job. So I would recommend we vote no, and then I will follow that up with a proposal to simply replace Ms. Halter's positions with Mr. Slutz as designed in January of 2020.
Any other questions or comments? Then I would call for a roll call.
Kramer,
Yes.
Greg,
I want to be clear on what this roll call vote is for. Is this to accept the slate of committee members that's put before us right now by President Isnick?
Yes, it is.
Okay, my vote is no.
Hearn Kane,
Yes.
Lewis,
No.
Littman,
Yes.
Lombardi, Lombardi,
No.
Sloots,
No.
Starrett,
No.
and Barrett.
Might as well make it close, yes.
Five no, 4 yes.
Thank you. It has failed. Councilman Lewis?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion that we assign committees using January 2020 committee assignments as our basis, replacing Councilwoman Halter with Councilman Sloots. I do believe Mr. Lombardi does have that if it needs to be displayed for anyone. And I would need a second.
Seconded by Councilman Gregg. Did you want to put it up?
Yeah, let me get it here.
Okay, thank you.
So this list as shown should reflect that everyone has the exact same committee assignments that they had until December of 2020.
You're going to have to give me just a minute, please.
I'm just wondering if any council members have any questions.
Not that it matters, but my name's spelled wrong.
Don't worry, Megan, I've got the original at the office.
Thank you, Diane.
Madam President, this is Linda Littman. I do have a comment to make.
Go ahead.
Oh, thank you, Madam President. My position has always been regarding the committee assignments should be made based on the experience or forte each of our committee or each of our council members may have, what they're bringing to the table that is going to be able to benefit the city to the greatest extent. So as I look at committee assignments, as I believe President Eisnick had mentioned, I was a member of the Finance Committee in the prior term. And when January of 2020 came about, it appeared to me that Mr. Lewis made a play for placing individuals on committees based on their political affiliation. And I think that is the furthest from the way that committee assignments should be made. For example, we now have a policeman, a retired policeman, and a retired fireman on our council. And for example, where I think their experience could be used, more so or to the greatest extent, may be on a different committee than what they are currently assigned by Mr. Lewis in January of 2020. I think that's also the case for our finance committee, even for our community development committee. It just doesn't appear to me that the assignments that were previously made were based on any experience or any background that could have benefited the community based on what legislation may be flowing through those specific committees. So I just wanted to make my comments clear. I only had requested to be placed back on finance because I too have 28 years of investment management, wealth management experience, as well as general banking and record keeping for our employee benefit area. So I just wanted to make those comments clear. Thank you, President.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Madam President, Mr. Hernkane, I have a question.
Go ahead.
I guess I'd like to ask why I would be removed from the Community Development Committee if that is my background.
I have no answer for that. Councilman Lewis?
This is just simply replacing the vacated seat with the new member of council. This was, like I said, based off the list of January 2020. Halter vacated the position. Lutz replaces her and goes into the same seats that she held when she resigned. That's all there is to this list assignment. It's the cleanest, simplest way to go about it, and let us move forward.
Anyone else? We have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Greg,
Again, I want to clarify our vote on this roll call is to accept the slate of committee members in front of us.
The one put forward by Mr. Lewis, yes.
Okay, my vote is yes.
Hernkane,
No.
Lewis,
Yes.
Littman,
No.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Slutes,
Yes.
Starrett,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
and Creamer.
Yes.
Then the new committee stand approved, and Diane, you'll get those emailed to everybody?
That was a roll call of 7 yes and 2 no. And yes, Madam President, I will.
Thank you. We're going to move into introduction of ordinances and resolutions. Ordinance number 4, 2021.
An ordinance amending the rules of Madison City Council by amending Rule 18 and Rule 18.1 of Section 121.02 Rules of Council of the codified ordinances of the City of Massillon, Ohio, and enacting Rule 18.2 and Rule 18.3 of Section 121.02 Rules of Council of the codified ordinances of the City of Massillon, Ohio.
Councilman Gregg?
Thank you, Madam President. First of all, I want to point out that it's rules 18.2 and 18.3. Diane, I believe you said 8.2 and 8.3.
I'm sorry.
That's fine. This is legislation that we've discussed in a couple of special rules and courts committee meetings, and then also in regular committee work sessions. Are there any questions or concerns at this time? Hearing and seeing none, I'd like to make a motion that we waive the rules requiring 3 readings of legislation and bring ordinance number 4, 2021 forward for a vote.
Seconded by.
Councilwoman Starrett.
Thank you. Roll call. For suspension?
Kern Kane.
Yeah. Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Littman,
yes,
Lombardi,
Yes.
Sloots,
Yes.
Starrett,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Creamer, and
Yes.
Gregg.
Yes.
9 yes for suspension.
Just a minute, Diane, before we go on to passage. Councilman Thayer, did you have your hand up?
Yes, I did. I don't see emergency language there. Is that, we're still allowed to bypass it? 3 readings?
I can answer that, Madam President, if you need me to.
Go ahead. Thank you.
Yes, emergency language and 3 readings are 2 separate issues. So we can suspend the rules requiring 3 readings and not have emergency language in it. It just means that this rule will not take effect for 30 days.
Right, okay.
Thank you. And for passage, Diane?
Lewis,
Yes.
Littman,
yes,
Lombardi,
Yes.
Sloots,
Yes.
Starrett,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
Egg,
Yes.
and Kern Kane.
Yes.
9 yes for passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 4, 2021 has passed. Ordinance number 5, 2021.
An ordinance to approve the vacation of Penmont Avenue Southeast, Massillon, Ohio, an unimproved 40-foot wide right-of-way located south of Forest Avenue Southeast and running in a westerly direction from Candell Street.
Councilman Thayer?
Thank you, Madam President. As we worked in witnessed this in the work session, this motion or the ordinance has already been approved by the planning committee, and I don't see any reason then to take it through 3 readings. There's no public hearing. Is there for this? So far, we've had no objections, as I recall, from the engineers. Am I correct in that, Mr. Popio?
Yeah, you're correct. It did pass planning commission in early November.
So I'd like to make a motion, then we suspend the rules requiring 3 readings and bring this motion ordinance number 5, 2021 up for vote tonight.
Seconded by Councilwoman Creamer. Roll call for suspension.
Littman,
yes,
Lombardi,
Yes.
Sloots,
Yes.
Starrett,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
Egg,
Yes.
Kern Kane,
As I stated at the work session, I have a conflict. I'll be abstaining.
and Lewis.
Yes.
8 yes and 1 abstention for suspension.
And for passage.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Sloots,
Yes.
Starrett,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Kern Kane, Lewis,
Yes.
and Littman.
yes,
8 yes and 1 abstention for passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 5, 2021 has passed. Ordinance number 6, 2021.
An ordinance making certain appropriations from the unappropriated balance of the 1203 Community Development Block Grant, CDBG Fund for the year ending December 31st, 2021, and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Lewis.
Yes, this ordinance is related to our CDBG appropriations. As we've stated before, CDBG has a different fiscal year than us. Theirs runs from July to June, ours being January through December. So all we're doing is reappropriating these dollars into this new budgetary year for it. Are there any questions? Ms. Walters is on the line if we do have any discussion this evening.
Woman Littman.
Thank you, Madam President. My question would be, does this, since it is such a specific dollar amount, does it bring the balance for that specific CDBG year to zero? Is it all allocated at this or with this legislation?
Yes, it is.
Do we have any additional dollars for the from the last year, since this is actually for year ending December 31, 2020? Is there carryover that we are using within this ordinance as well, or is it only the allocated dollars for that year?
I believe there is some carryover funding from the 2019 program year, which ended in June of 2020. But most of those funds, and I don't have an exact amount, I can definitely get that to you, but most of those funds are allocated, just not expended yet.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, Councilman Lewis.
I make a motion that we suspend the rules requiring 3 readings, bringing ordinance number 6-2021 forward for a vote.
Seconded by
Councilwoman Starrett.
roll call for suspension.
Sloots,
Yes.
Starrett,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
Craig,
Yes.
Hearn Kane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Littman,
Yes.
and Lombardi.
Yes.
9 yes for suspension.
And for passage.
Starrett,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
Yes.
Hearn Kane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Littman,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
and Sloots.
Yes.
9 yes for passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 6-2021 has passed. Is there any unfinished business?
Did I not include the resolutions on your list, Madam President?
No, ma'am.
I apologize. We have resolution number 1, resolution number 2, and resolution number 3. I apologize. I have a sheet right here in front of me, so that's
All right.
my error. Resolution number 1, resolution number 2, and resolution number 3.
All right. Unfinished business, resolution number 1-2021.
Now, this is not unfinished business. We're still with the ordinances and,
Oh, nope, those are not there at all. Okay,
okay.
resolution number 1-2021.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, where's
And
my
these are under whose committee?
They're anyone because they're committee of the whole.
Okay,
A resolution consenting to the appointment of Margie Voigt to the Historic Preservation Commission of the City of Massillon, Ohio, for the term expiring December 31st, 2021.
Councilman Lewis, you want to take these?
Sure, thank you. As the title says, we just are approving Margie Vogt to the Preservation Commission, Historical Preservation Commission. I make a motion that we suspend the rule requiring 3 readings, bringing resolution number 1-2021 forward for a vote.
Seconded by,
Lombardi,
roll call.
Barrett,
Yes. Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
Craig,
Yes.
Kern Kane,
Yeah.
Yes.
Littman,
yes,
Lombardi,
yes.
Sloot,
Yes.
and Starrett.
Yes.
9 yes for suspension.
Isn't that just for passage?
No, ma'am, this is first reading.
Okay, and for passage. Are we just doing, no, and for passage?
Creamer,
Yes.
Craig,
Yes.
Kern Kane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Littman,
yes,
Lombardi,
Yes.
Sloots,
Yes.
Starrett,
Yes.
and Barrett.
Yes.
9 yes for passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Resolution number 1, 2021 has passed. Resolution number 2, 2021.
A resolution consenting to the appointment of Jeffrey Thornberry to the Historic Preservation Committee of the City of Massillon, Ohio, for the term expiring December 31st, 2021.
Councilman Lewis,
Yes, as the title states, is there any discussion? I make a motion, we suspend the rules requiring 3 readings, bringing resolution number 2-2021 forward for a vote.
seconded by,
Creamer.
roll call for suspension.
Gregg,
Yes.
Kern Kane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Littman,
yes,
Lombardi,
Yes.
Sloots,
Yes.
Garrett,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
and Creamer.
Yes.
9 yes for suspension.
And for passage.
Kern Kane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Littman,
yes,
Lombardi,
Yes.
Sloots,
Yes.
Starrett,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
Craig.
Yes.
9 yes for passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Resolution number 2, 2021 has passed. Resolution number 3, 2021.
A resolution consenting to the appointment of Edward Greer to the Recreation Board of the City of Massillon, Ohio, for the term expiring December 31st, 2025.
Councilman Lewis,
Again, as the title states, I do have a quick question for the mayor, if she's available.
Yes, good evening, Councilman Lewis, Madam President, members of council.
Madam Mayor, is this his second term then or third?
This will be set.
Okay.
And you're permitted 2 consecutive terms.
Thank you.
Welcome.
I guess I would open it up for any other discussion or questions if anyone has them. Seeing none, I make a motion, we suspend the rules requiring 3 readings, bringing resolution number 3-2021 forward for a vote.
seconded by,
Creamer.
roll call for suspension.
Lewis,
Yes.
Littman,
yes,
Lombardi,
Yes.
Sloots,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
Craig,
Yes.
and Kern Kane. Kern Kane,
Yes.
9 yes for suspension.
And for passage.
Men, Littman,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Slutes,
Yes.
Starrett,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
Craig,
Yes.
Ern Kane,
Yes.
and Lewis.
Yes.
9 yes for passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Resolution number 3, 2021 is passed. I have a question before we proceed. On the screen, what is the triangle with the exclamation point in the upper left-hand corner representing?
Connectivity issues.
Oh. So everyone with that exclamation cannot hear?
It's not necessary. That just means like if their video feed goes gray and you see that, that means they're just having an interruption in their connection. So they may or may not be able to hear at that time. I
Okay,
think the only one we have right now is Jamie Sluch's second sign-in that he has, but his first sign-in seems to be working okay.
okay, but they both have that mark. All right, thank you. Number 9, petitions and general communications. Does anyone have anything?
No, we do not.
Okay, bills, accounts, and claims. Do we have any bills?
No, we do not.
Reports from city officials. Do we have any?
Yes, we have the auditor's report for December 2020.
Councilman Lewis,
I make a motion that we accept the auditor's report.
seconded by
Linda Littman.
Paul.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Slutes,
Yes.
Starrett,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
Craig,
Yes.
Ern Kane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Littman.
Yes.
9 yes to accept the auditor's report.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The auditor's report has been accepted. Reports of committees. Our next work session will be Monday, January 25th, 2021 at 6:30. Does anyone have anything to add?
Madam President.
Yes.
I just wanted to report out that at the first work session of February, I'm not quite sure to that date. If Diane would be able to inform me, that'd be great. We have.
Go ahead.
Okay, I have spoken with Miss Busby of the West Stark Chamber, and she will be joining us to introduce herself and what's going on at the Chamber of Commerce and other matters related to that. She's been there for approximately 6 months now, and in speaking to her, we agreed that would be a good idea to meet some council members. We were hoping that we'd eventually get in chambers to do that, but since that's not happening, we're gonna have to do it virtually.
Okay, Ed, that's going to be February the 8th.
All right, thank you.
Madam,
Anyone else? Yes, Councilwoman Littman.
thank you, Madam President. I've also had conversation with Ms. Busby regarding our DORA that we had spoken about previously. She was very interested in taking the lead on pursuing whether that would be something that would be beneficial to our community. So hopefully at that introduction, she may be able to address her the conversation she and I have had regarding the outdoor designated refreshment area. Thank you.
Anyone else? Councilwoman Kramer.
Yes, I'd just like to announce, since there were some questions previously, there will be a Park and Recreation Board meeting on Wednesday, January 20th at 5:35 p.m.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Madam President,
Councilwoman Littman.
I just wanted to clarify, Mrs. Creamer, I believe that is a virtual committee, is it not? And there is a phone number to call in for that meeting.
It is an Uber conference meeting. You are correct.
Anyone else? All right. Resolutions and request of council members. Call of the calendar, nothing. Third reading ordinances and resolutions. Ordinance number 136, 2020.
An ordinance amending section 1151.02 of the Massillon Code of 1985, rezoning certain tracts of land from R1, one-family residential, to B1, local business, and declaring an emergency.
Councilwoman Starrett?
Thank you, Madam President. If we could just table this ordinance until after the public hearing on February 16th, 2021 at 6 p.m., and then we will have a vote on that at that time. So at this time, I would ask that we table the ordinance number 136, 2020, 136, 2020 until 2/16/21.
Seconded by?
Lewis seconds.
Roll call?
Slutes,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Kern Kane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Littman,
Yes.
and Lombardi.
Yes.
9 yes to table ordinance number 136, 2020 until February 16th, 2021.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 136, 2020 has been tabled until February 16th of 21. Ordinance number 151, 2020.
An ordinance amending section 181.01, purpose and authority to levy tax rate of the codified ordinances of the City of Massillon, Ohio, and authorizing the continuation of an existing 0.2% levy on income to be effective January 1st, 2022 for 5 years for the purpose of city street maintenance and repair in the city street department, subject to the approval of the electors of the City of Massillon, Ohio, at an election to be conducted at the primary election on May 4th, 2021.
Councilman Lewis?
Yes, we should have all received some corrected language for this ordinance related to obviously an issue in which we had to put some repeal language in it to make it accurately represent what was happening, and also some typographical errors. Tonight, I will have to make a motion to amend this ordinance, but prior to doing so, I wanted to ask if anyone has any discussion or questions this evening. Seeing none, I make a motion that we amend ordinance number 151-2020 in its entirety per the amended version of the ordinance the council clerk distributed via email to all council members.
Seconded by?
Mr. Lewis.
Councilman Gregg, are you seconding or do you have a question?
I was seconding, but it sounds like someone else has a question.
Oh, I'm sorry. Seconded by Councilman Gregg. Question?
Mr. Lewis, this is Dave Maley. I don't know. I don't have the amendment in front of me, but is there emergency language on this, or do we need emergency language?
Oh, good catch.
I would suggest Mr. Bartos, because you wrote that. Do we need emergency language on this?
We would.
Mr. President, Mr. Lewis, the emergency language is contained in the resolution, as we did in 2016. The resolution is what's required to direct the, which follows here. The resolution is what is required to direct the Board of Elections to place ordinance 151-2020 on the ballot. Keep in mind that this ordinance 151-2020 cannot take effect until it has been considered by the electors of the City of Massillon. So emergency language would not mean it would go into effect immediately. And so just like in 2016, there was no emergency language. Emergency language here would essentially mean nothing because this ordinance cannot take effect until it's been considered by the voters. And in fact, if you note in section 5, the ordinance will not take effect anyway until January 1st, 2022.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Thank you.
Councilman Lewis?
We have a motion and a second.
Okay, do you need to add the emergency list of the language or not?
No, as Mr. Bartos wrote.
All right, roll call.
Okay, this is for the amendment.
Yes.
Starrett,
Yes.
Starrett,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
Craig,
Yes.
Kern Kane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Littman,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
and Slutes.
Yes.
9 yes to amend ordinance number 151-2020 in its entirety.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 151, 2020 has been amended in its entirety. Councilman Lewis, does this take it back to first reading?
It does.
Okay, Councilman Lewis?
I make a motion that we suspend the rules requiring 3 readings, bringing ordinance number 151-2020 forward for a vote.
Seconded by?
Councilman Gregg.
Councilman Starrett.
I heard Greg first, so we'll go with Greg. Call for suspension.
Barrett,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
Craig,
Yes.
Kern Kane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Littman,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Slutes,
Yes.
and Starrett.
Yes.
9 yes for
And
suspension.
for passage.
Creamer,
Yes.
Craig,
Yes.
Kern Kane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Littman,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Slutes,
Yes.
Starrett,
Yes.
and Barrett.
Yes.
9 yes for suspension.
Wasn't that for passage?
I'm sorry, 9 yes for passage.
Madam Clerk, ordinance number 151, 2020 has passed. Ordinance number 19, 2020.
Resolution number 19, Madam President.
Thank you. Resolution number 19, 2020.
A resolution directing the Stark County Board of Elections to conduct an election at the primary election on May 4th, 2021, for the purpose of providing the electors of the City of Massillon, Ohio, with the opportunity to approve or disapprove an ordinance providing for the continuation of an existing 0.2% levy on income to be effective January 1st, 2022, for 5 years for the purpose of city street maintenance and repair and the city street department, and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Lewis?
Yes, this coincides with what we just passed. It has the emergency language as Mr. Bartos had pointed out, so that we can get this in time for the filing deadline of February 3rd. Are there any questions or discussion this evening? Seeing none, I make a motion that we bring resolution number 19-2020 forward for a vote.
Seconded by?
Councilwoman Starrett.
Roll call for passage.
Suspension.
Is this a
There's no
third?
need for suspensions, third reading.
Oh, I'm sorry, this is the third reading. I apologize. Greg,
Yes.
Kern Kane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Littman,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Slutes,
Yes.
Starrett,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
and Creamer.
Yes.
9 yes for passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Resolution number 19, 2020 is passed. Second reading ordinances and resolutions. Ordinance number 2, 2021.
An ordinance authorizing the Massillon Recreation Center to offer all full-time Massillon school employees with Massillon City School Health Care a 50% discount on a single 2-year membership to the Massillon Recreation Center effective January 1st, 2021, and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Lewis?
I would ask, is there any discussion or questions this evening related to this ordinance?
Councilwoman Littman?
Thank you, Madam President. I just wanted to make sure that all council members were aware that there are approximately 400 Massillon City School individuals who are employees who are on their medical plan as well. And when you're looking at a 50% discount, I can see this being appropriate now because, of course, we don't have nearly the traffic at the rec center that we would have in a non-COVID environment. So I guess I would just caution that this is for a 2-year period, which I would be in agreement for, because I do believe that, over the next 2 years, we're still going to be very low on attendance. However, after COVID has come and gone, and we have our regular routine of individuals and members that are at the rec center, if we add even another 200 to the attendance, it at a 50% discount, it's going to be a very busy place, which of course might be good, but then we have residents who are paying full price for their memberships who will be waiting for equipment or for gyms or for classes, etc. So I am in agreement with this being for a 2-year period. However, thereafter, I think it definitely has to be further evaluated.
Anyone else? Councilman Lewis?
I make a motion that we suspend the rules requiring 3 readings, being ordinance number 2-2021, forward for a vote.
Goodbye.
Councilman Gregg,
Roll call for suspension.
Kane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Littman,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Slutes,
Yes.
Starrett,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
and Gregg.
yes.
9 yes for suspension.
And for passage.
Lewis,
Yes.
Littman,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Slutes,
Yes.
Starrett,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
and Kane.
Yes.
9 yes for passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 2-2021 has passed. Number 17 on the agenda, where anyone on the call can speak to any topic that did not appear on tonight's agenda. If you wish to do so, please state your name, address, and topic you wish to discuss, and please limit your comments to 3 minutes.
Good evening, Madam President. This is Mayor Kathy Catasero Perry. I just wanted to give council an update that the hospital did close today and they'll be recording it tomorrow.
Excellent news. Thank you. Anyone else?
Yeah, Madam President.
Yes.
Larry LG DeLuca, 2954 Veterans Boulevard, Southeast Massillon, Ohio. Sorry I had trouble getting on there. Hello to Diane Rowland. We appreciate what you do, and President Sam Ed Lewis. I'm going to talk a little bit here of economic development at PACE, that's P-A-C-E, and I'll explain coming up. Info ahead here. Hendrickson USA needed 60 acres and an additional 20 acres in Navarre, Ohio. When they looked at Massillon, it was a little too industrial for them, okay? And they also went to Alliance, and the mayor there really didn't have an impact because they said, this is what we're going to have. This is what we're going to do for Hendrickson USA. Also, Tractor Supply, let's talk about them. Distribution Center, need 100 acres. They're breaking ground, I believe, in April 2021 here in Navarre, not in Massillon, but they're shovel-ready sites. They looked at 5 different states, but we got to remember, Tractor Supply, to try to latch onto them, they had the big boys with them. That's JLL. For those of you in development real estate like me too, Jones, Lang, LaSalle, they could have went anywhere. And really, David Maley, the economic development director, I don't think he had a chance to get Tractor Supply, to be fair with him, because it was on a state level. On the Massillon Energy Technology Park with Steve DePietro, controls a lot, 248 acres of that land. And he's doing a great job. I remember the Republic, what was it, the short line where he had the pipes going out, the Rover pipeline. He brought more money in there and developed that. And that, Steve, that's kudos to him and to Garrett Cluse, I think is his son-in-law. As these people come in, they do a lot of good. And Steve DePietro has a good private investment there and many others. Remember this, the City of Massillon did not buy any of that land, and that is a good thing. Private investors did. They got a lot of things there. Also, Perry and Navarre have a JED, a J-E-D-D, a Joint Economic Development District, where they share the taxes, if you know what I mean. What happened was Navarre and Perry didn't put Massillon in a JEDD because I think the former mayor, Frank Ciccinelli, was marching south annexing land, okay? Maybe that's why Massillon wasn't in this JEDD to share the taxes. That would have been a big thing with Perry and Navarre. And I also remember the city of Canton, Ohio, and Canton Township. You guys know where that is, the Fairmont exit. Canton Township needed city water from the city of Canton. So they set up a JEDD to share in the taxes. And Gojo, remember them doing things in China. They're bringing that back. That was a big win for Dave Maley and the mayor. They got Massillon, they got Akron, they got Cleveland, the IX Center recently closed, Worcester. And then I remember the Massillon Development Foundation, 50 acres to share foods, the Finnefrock Industrial Park in the 60s and 70s. I think that was really the first project for the Massillon Development Foundation, and Debbie Busby will look at that too. Really here what I want to say is about PACE. It's something new, not too many states are doing it, and hope we can use it here in the state of Ohio. It's a new economic development tool, property assessment, and really what it is, a real simple and effective way to finance energy and renewable energy buildings, commercial, retail, industrial, nonprofit, multifamily. Property owners save money and makes their buildings more valuable. And it's a real estate play with windows and also roofing, but it's great. And finally, John Eisenhut, co-owner of the land, you know where the Route 21, where the Building 9 used to be? Mr. Eisenhut, pardon me, ma'am?
1 minute.
Yes. Okay, thanks, Madam President. I appreciate that. Mr. Eisenhut, okay, and his partners, they have about 35 acres there, Madam President. It's along Walnut Road near Route 21, First Street. They're looking at this. Maybe this PACE financing is good. We got to remember, every city is losing population. And as I said earlier, timing is everything. And I'll end it up with this for Dave Maley and the mayor, KCP, Kathy Ketazera-Pera. Baker Hughes, BJ Services, just went bankrupt, I think, with the new BJ Services there along the south side of US Route 30. I'm over here at the Legends of Massillon. Guess what? We might redeem ourselves again, maybe have another 108 acres here to sell because they look for green land, they look for a lot of land, and that might be good in a sense for Massillon, Ohio. Thank you very much, Madam President, and you all have a good night. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. DeLuca. Anyone else? Anyone else? Seeing none, Councilwoman Creamer,
I make a motion to adjourn.
seconded by,
Councilwoman Littman.
meeting adjourned.